Leader of the third party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to try and bring the temperature down a bit by asking about education, something I think we can all agree on. It's clear we're in a period of austerity leading to broken election promises. I won't list them all, Mr. Speaker, but one of the most concerning is this government's broken promise to educators. School districts are cutting staff, education assistants and teachers are stretched to their limits, and every year the share of our provincial budget that goes to K-12 education gets smaller and smaller. We're in the midst of a youth mental health crisis, but the counsellors this government promised in every school last election are still missing. So are the education assistants who support students with learning needs. Teachers have been without a contract since June, and based on the current situation with the BCGEU and PEA, British Columbians should prepare for a teacher's strike. Mr. Speaker, as I said, reliability. A reliable government invests in the future, especially in setting up the next generation for success. Instead, this government continues to make decisions reactively. Through you, Honourable Speaker, to the Minister of Education, will this government keep its promises to our province's educators?
Minister of Education.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and I want to thank the member opposite for the question. I know he's a fierce advocate for public education, as we are on this side of the House. We've had many conversations about the values of public education and supporting the system, which is why we as a government protected education funding in our budget. In light of very difficult times fiscally around the globe and here in Canada, we made the choice here in British Columbia to not only protect our education budget, but also to increase it by $319 million. And this is in light of the challenges that we're facing globally. I want to assure the member that we're working closely with all of our partners in the K-12 sector to meet our promises to educators. We have the K-12 workforce table, which is actively working on these commitments, like counsellors in schools. We continue to work with the TF, we continue to work with CUPE, with BCGEU, with all of our union partners and all of our sector partners to make sure that we are meeting the demands of the K-12 sector and supporting our kids and our staff in that system. Thank you.
Member supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To clarify, I understand that the budget is protected, but what I was saying is the proportion of public money we spend on education is less and less. The government says it values public education, but the funding model for BC schools hasn't been updated since 2002. Instead, life is more expensive and families are being forced to make difficult choices about where to spend their money. Instead of supporting them, this government quietly cut the Student and Family Affordability Fund, a program that was designed to cover basic school fees, clothing, and field trips for those in need. Parents in this House know how important these are, and it was touted by school districts and this government as transformative. Mr. Speaker, the Minister told the public that this 3-year fund was never intended to be recurring and that a replacement was coming. Well, the school year, as we know, is well underway, and parents in need have yet to see the replacement. So, through you, Mr. Speaker, to the Minister of Education, when will this government replace the Student and Family Affordability Fund?
Minister.
Thank you, Speaker, and I want to thank the member for highlighting the supports that we were able as a government to give during COVID-19. You know, there were significant needs all across our province, and we stepped up in a number of ways through time-limited funds, 3-year funds, to support families in their affordability measures. You know, things like school supplies, things like field trips. We continue to invest in those things. You know, just recently we announced our commitment and a partnership with the federal government for our National Food School Program, which combines to our Feeding Future. We now have every single district in this province offering breakfast, lunch, or a combination of, and snacks in schools. This not only provides parents relief for those who are facing those affordability challenges, it takes away the stigma of for families who need to access those supports, and really it makes our schools a more welcoming, caring, loving place. We know a student can't learn and can't succeed if they're not, if they're going to school hungry and they're not being supported. We're going to keep investing in programs like that to meet those needs. Thank you, Speaker.